everybody, it's Diana and my 6th grade daughter, Bridget. So we're glad that you're with us today. We're going to do a short little Facebook Live about kids' knife skills. So many of you have kids that are home because of the schools being closed, and so they need to be a little bit more self-sufficient, and maybe they don't have basic knife skills. Now, first off, I am not a chef, but I do know some basic things due to my job, and we thought it might be a good idea to share some of that with you, because when I shared it with Bridget the other day, she then the next day was able to cut up some things all by herself with confidence using the skills that we taught, right? Okay. All right, so what you need to have first is a cutting board. Okay. Cutting board, make sure it's one that's really clean. We try very hard not to cut meats on the same cutting board that we cut produce. We like to keep that separate. So we can talk about that in a future Facebook Live and why that is, but we're not going to cover all that today. Knife, sharp knife, it has a good handle. We'll talk about how to handle that. And today, what are we going to cut? A carrot. And we already cleaned this in the sink with water and a vegetable brush. And this is very important because the outside is dirty, and when we use our knife, everything that's on the outside then starts to go to the inside and the parts that we eat. So you want to make sure that you clean your produce. Now, I bring this up because we should also be doing that to things like onions. You should wash the outside, not with soap, but with water. Make sure you rub all the areas so that when you cut into it, the knife does not take the germs from the outside and put them on the inside and the part that you eat. Okay, so, I should also say that we washed our hands properly, and I sanitized the surface that we're working on as well. Okay, so let's move this aside because we don't need it. I have a dish towel that I just made damp. And the purpose for this is that my countertops, and maybe yours, are a little slippery. So with littler hands, if they put the cutting board straight on the slippery surface, this kind of moves around. But if you have a damp dish towel or damp paper towel and put the cutting board on top, it makes it more secure with some more friction. So that's good for little hands. All right, so first thing we're going to do is show you how to properly hold a knife. So how do you grab it? And maybe we can bring this in. My older daughter is doing a video today. All right, so she's holding it with the, show it on the side. Nope, not that way. Lay down, we're going to talk about that. These should be fun. But definitely we want to practice knife safety. So she's holding the handle, and I used to do this, and my kids used to do this. We would put the finger, can you show the wrong way? Put the finger on the top thinking that gave us more stability, but it doesn't. It just makes it rock more. So she's holding the handle firmly, and it gives her more control and won't fatigue her hand as much. All right, so she's keeping the blade pointed down. She's not pointing the blade up. All right, so now, can you show us the claw with your other hand? This is really important, the claw. All right, so what we're going to do is hold our produce or whatever we need to cut with the claw. And the reason why is that keeps the fingertips from being near the knife blade. If you have them tucked under like a claw, then as you use the knife, your fingers are protected. So let's show how that works. Yep. Now, normally we try to have a flat surface on the vegetable, but the carrot is kind of small. So she's just going to do a demonstration on the ends of the carrot, how this works. Go ahead. Yeah, she's using kind of a sawing motion. You can bring your hand up for a little more stability, but she still has that claw going. Well, that's okay. We sanitized, remember? Good. She's taking her time. Can you make a little smaller cuts?
No.
You don't want to do it. That's fine. Always supervise your kids until you feel like, they can do this safely. Good. Couple more, and you see how she's getting closer to the end of the carrot, so she's really focusing on making sure she has that claw going. Great. All right. Thank you, Bridget. Can I show an additional piece for them, like for the parents? If you're not used to this and you want to get smaller pieces, I can still use the claw. The blade rests against my first knuckle and not my fingertips, and I can get smaller slices. Now, don't make your kids do this if they don't feel confident, okay? All right, so let's talk about how we handle the knife when we're done. So sometimes people put it on the counter, sometimes people put it like this, but what's the right way? Where do we want the blade, Bridget? Away from us, that's right. So let's say I wanted to take it over from where you left off, hold the blade like you were cutting. Good. Yeah, so what would I just say? Okay, hey, I'll finish up from here. What are you gonna do with the blade? And then she steps back, and then I can come over and pick it up safely. We don't pass the blade like this to her. I know, right? I mean, obviously, but I don't know. So we want to be safe throughout. Let's see, what else is there? Can you think of anything else, Bridget? Yeah, she's pushing away from the blade. Away, not towards the blade, and she's keeping it away from her. All right, what other tips can you think of? Do you want to say hi to your friends? Just wave. Oh, okay, because kids don't like to be on video. All right, so thanks, Bridget. I want to cover a couple of other things. When you're washing your knives, do not put them in the bottom of the sink, because then you have to then dig around for them and you can't always see because of the bubbles from the water. A lot of knives are best taken care of by hand washing. So keep them next to the sink with the blade away, and then when you're ready to wash them, pick them up firmly, wash like this with your cloth. Do not scrub back and forth because of the sharp blade. And then you can rinse and then place it on the drying rack so that it's ready for you the next time. Okay, so I will address any questions when you put them in the comments and after this gets on my timeline. And then we have lots of other ideas for these kinds of things, like a really fun germ experiment with a black light. If you want that, let us know in the comments. I also have a little lesson we can do on proper hand washing, and I'd love to see if you're interested in that. If so, please put that in the comments. Oh, we have a germ board about math and germs, which is pretty cool, about germs and food. So if you're interested in that, please put that in the comments. And then anything else you're interested in, we can even do some recipes like a breakfast parfait that is super easy and that you can make with your kids or your kids can do themselves. So any other ideas you have, we're open to that. But thank you very much. Practice knife safety. Kids, make sure you ask your parents before you do it. It's not permission to just help yourself. All right, and thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Keep watching my Facebook page, my timeline, and my story for the actual schedule, because we'll keep publishing that. Bye.